Nagre-reflect yung salamin eh. Action continues here for our last game of the day. This time, Junior MPBL D-League 21 and under action on your way. We are still live here sa ating University of Batangas, home of the Brahmans in Batangas City. And once again, we continue the live coverage of the country's premier youth basketball league, the one and only Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL D-League. For our games today again, first set of 3 was between Quezon and San Pedro, second set between Leyte and Dasmariñas. Now for our last game of the day, this time Biñan Tatak Gel going up against the Brahman Tanauan. So magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. It's still Cho Pangilinan covering the action with professional basketball player Kyle Sanchez. So magandang gabi sa iyo, Kyle. Last game of the day, and what a way to end it with 21 and under action.
Yes, no, ito na talaga yung mga pinakakuya ng mga 14, 16, and 18 under players natin. 21 and under naman dito sa Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL D-League. Exciting matchup between the hometown team, of course, yung Batangas, kontra dito sa Biñan Tatak Gel.
Yes, pag-usapan muna natin itong Biñan Tatak Gel. They have a 2-1 record and they won against the Quezon Huskers 67-58 in their last game.
Yes, that was a close ball game. 9 points lang ang kalamangan ng Biñan in that game, and they out-assisted and outshot itong Quezon Huskers, even though they were out-rebounded. But overall, towards the end game, the breaks of the game going the way nitong Biñan Tatak Gel, who are on a 2-game winning streak right now.
Yes, after losing their first game, I also covered that one. They're now, yun nga, sabi mo, 2-game winning streak. Samantalang sa kabilang banda naman, Tanauan Brahman winning against Zamboanga Sikat 79-69.
Oh yes, well, that was also a close ball game towards the end, no? 10 points lang ang naging resulta nung panalo ng Tanauan Brahman over Zamboanga Sikat. And that was an overall good game, even though they gave up a lot of fast break points, no, towards the end game. Yung depensa nitong Tanauan Brahman limited itong Zamboanga Sikat to only 69 points, and leading the way in that game was itong si John Harvey Atienza, who had 21 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 steals for his team.
We're still early in this D-League season, so obviously both teams coming from a win, both teams wanting to continue that groove, to continue to find their footing, hopefully with a W. Pero yun nga lang ang problema, isa lang ang pwede manalo for our matchup tonight. Huwag na tayong magsayang ng oras. Let's turn it over to our venue announcer, Danzel Santiago.
Excitement continues here in University of Batangas Gymnasium as we bring you the consideration of Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL D-League, ang liga ng bawat batang Pilipino. The next basketball action continues between the Tanauan Brahman and Biñan Tatak Gel. We are live on our official Facebook page and YouTube channel of Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL. And now it's time to meet the starters. First from your Tanauan Brahman. Guard number 25, Harvey Atienza. Also guard number 23, James Soraso. Forward number 28, Kenneth Punzalo. Also forward number 10, Alan Aguila. Playing center number 19, Paul Tibar. Head coach of Tanauan Brahman, Arnold Gonzordo. Assisted by Ryan Fernando, Peter Dolor. Team manager Ivan Nokov, Arnold Mar Alonso. And now it's time to meet the starters of your Biñan Tatak Gel. Guard number 22, Jeremy Godzoy. Also guard number 17, Arthur Alonte. Forward number 15, Lawrence Cabondillas. Also forward number 96, Luke Lesser Felipe. Playing center number 9, Cedric Digasmada. Head coach of Biñan Tatak Gel, Mark Arzola. Assisted by Rar Batalyon. Team manager Albert Albazaro. Our games officials for today's
Our Dorite Bola ng Pinoy team starters. For Biñan, it's Godoy and Alonte at the guards, Cabonillas, Felipe at the forwards, and the Guzman for the man at the middle. Ito namang Tanauan, Atienza and Torato for the guards, Pundano and Aguila for the forwards, and Tivor, their man at the middle. Once again, 21 and under action on your way. Hindi pa pala kuya ang mga 18 and under. Ito pala talaga yung mga tunay na kuya.
Oo, mga adults na talaga itong mga to, no? 21 and under. So definitely a lot more mature compared to their younger brothers na kinover natin kanina.
Exactly, and I can attest to that description you just gave. Meanwhile, first 2 points belonging to the homeowners, Tanauan Brahmans. Meanwhile, Felipe gets it back. They missed prior to the shot. Meanwhile, Cabonillas will miss. Godoy being aggressive inside. That's Jeremy Godoy, of course, FEU baby Tamaros. Alongside Cabonillas. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, 4 of the first 5 ay galing FEU. Yes, indeed. So this time, both teams battling for the leather. So yes, indeed, 4 sa kanila galing FEU. And then itong si Angelo Alonte, son of Vice Mayor Gel Alonte.
Oh wow, so very good starting lineup, no, para dito sa Biñan Tatak Gel. And as we all know, FEU also one of the storied basketball programs that we have here in the country.
Meanwhile, it's the Tanauan Brahmans looking to make something happen. No good from Tivor. Here comes William Cabonillas. He falls to the ground. Atienza getting called for a foul. This time, great find. William Cabonillas ng asar pa.
Oo, pinakita pa yung bola. Knowing well na hindi na maaabutan ng depensa.
I'm not gonna lie, those kinds of things makes the game more exciting, even though it's, you know, undeniably unnecessary.
Oo, no? Every now and then, magkakaroon talaga ng konting asaran. The older the players get, no? Talagang matututo na rin manggulang itong mga to.
Yes, indeed. Jeremy Godoy scored a while ago, also playing for Biñan in the 18 and under division. Right now, Angelo Alonte against son of Vice Mayor Gel Alonte. This time ends up with William Cabonillas from deep. Won't go. Here comes Atienza, running, sends it out. They attack the lane, basket and one, courtesy of Alan Dennis Aguila.
Both teams off to a strong start right now. Definitely aggressive in attacking that basket as we see here sa ating pound-for-pound fitness foul counted play of the game, absorbing that contact, but still concentrating just enough to finish that basket and one.
Indeed, lumipad ang Aguila. Tying the ball game up at 4, a chance to give them a 1-point lead. The Tanauan Brahmans. And indeed, converts that freebie. Here comes Tatak Gel. Felipe, no look pass to the Guzman. Tamaraw connection that time. Meanwhile, Cabonillas tried to save the basketball, but that was unsuccessful. Meanwhile, the Tanauan Brahmans having a hard time getting the basketball out. That was Torato at the inbound line. Torato, baseline inbound. And it's now Atienza handling the leather. Atienza attacks, no look pass, Tivar, good for 2 points.
Good drop pass there, finding an open Tivar, who was unfazed by the defense.
Godoy, that was intended for Cabonillas. Meanwhile, here comes Pundano. Oh, give and go action for the Tanauan Brahmans.
Good passing right now being shown by the hometown team. And a good steal right there.
Oh, another bucket. 4-point swing for this Tanauan Brahman squad. More importantly, a 5-point lead for them, 11-6. No choice but for Coach Mac Arzola to call a Nature Spring, the #1 bottled water in the Philippines, timeout.
Hervey Atien said the rest of Team Tanauan Brahmans rather told me earlier na hindi naman daw sila sobrang naging excited sa laro kay Toldo, naging mahaba yung kanilang pahinga. But sabi nila, this is going to be a good fight going up against itong Team Biñan na mostly composed of FEU players. Sabi nga sa akin ni Hervey noon, naging maganda yung pahinga nila but they really trained hard at alam naman nila home court advantage, so kabisado na nila. Right after, kitang-kita naman after that 4-0 run before this time out. Tignan natin kung sino pa ang magiging katulong dito ni Hervey on this game. Balik muna sa inyo.
Thank you very much, Daphne, for that report. And, you know, it can be a blessing in disguise na mahaba yung pahinga ng isang team. And good thing, the Tanauan Brahmans see that as an advantage.
Oh, only one of two things naman can happen when a team comes from a long rest. Is either kakalawangin sila or that rest will work in their favor, of course, with fresh legs. But, of course, the time off is going to be a factor, whether for good or for bad. That's up to them.
Indeed, it will always be up to them. Meanwhile, they still have a 1-point lead. Atienza up top, sent it to the corner. They fire for 3. Come home!
Off to a very hot start is the hometown team. Of course, alam nila, kabisado na nila itong court na to. And being at home, it definitely has its advantages.
Made that a 4-point lead for the Brahmans. Felipe Cabonillas has it. Has the basketball, spins around inside the paint. No good on that lay-in, but that's gonna be 2 freebies for Wilhelm Cabonillas.
That was a wild shot from Cabonillas, but he was bailed out by that foul.
And the Batangas standout will shoot some freebies, pero ito naman si Luke Felipe, previously scoring 2 for Biñan. First one, no good for Wilhelm Cabonillas. Averaging 19 points per game, 5 boards, in almost 27 minutes of action. No good. 0 out of 2 for Wilhelm Cabonillas. Meanwhile, Torato, drop pass inside to Tivar. There goes Cabonillas once again. Will try to attack, and he does.
Kala ko, idadunk na ni Cabonillas. His hand was at the rim already, using that long arms of his and that athleticism.
Torato, no good that time. Cabonillas getting the board. High pass. Godoy on the other side. Oh, offensive foul called on Jeremy.
The referee saying that Godoy extended his forearm upon initiating that contact. Of course, our officials have the best vantage point, as we see here sa ating replay. Godoy throwing that elbow out, or that forearm rather. So that's enough contact for the referees to call an offensive foul, but the ball will go back to Biñan.
So the mind games right here being played by both teams. And again, you gotta credit that sell by Levin Malaka. And kanina pinag-usapan natin FEU baby Tabaros on the floor. Ngayon naman, isang perpetual saint in Levin Malaka. Meanwhile, no good on that fadeaway from Wilhelm Cabunillas. Atienza on the run. Atienza! That's gonna be a foul on the floor.
Atienza making up for that turnover. Aggressively driving to the basket. Doesn't hit the shot, but he will be rewarded with 2 free throws.
Ito na nga yung kausap ni Daphne kanina, John Hervey Atienza. The one expected to make wonders for the Brahman Tanauan. Averaging close to 17 points per game, 3 boards and 4 dimes, and almost 27 minutes of action. So let's take a look on what exactly happened. So initially, the foul was called on the floor, pero Biñan arguing that it's an offensive foul. We're seeing Coach Arnold Cantorno on the bench of Tanauan. Let's take another look. Kyle, what do you think? What do you think? Is that an offensive foul? Or is that a foul on the floor? It's hard to say.
Well, if they're going to call an offensive foul on Godoy on one end, they have to be consistent and maybe call an offensive foul on Atienza on the other end, seeing as both of them did similar actions in extending that forearm. But yun nga, they are continuously reviewing itong play. But of course, from a player's perspective, kung tatawagan mo ng offensive yung kabila, tawagan mo rin dun on the other end with a similar call. Kasi similar din yung ginawa ni Atienza dun sa ginawa ni Godoy kanina. But looks like our officials have come to a verdict.
Yes, great point right there, Kyle. Because kung hindi man nga, syempre ka-questionin yun ni Coach Mac Arzola and the whole Biñan squad.
Of course, for the coaches naman, all they want is consistency sa mga tawag, di ba? If you're going to call something, okay. So, totally the opposite from what I was expecting, no? Yung verdict ng ating mga officials.
So I'm confused on what exactly happened right there. I think Atienza will shoot free throws.
We see the coach, no? Itong Tanauan, Coach Mark. Oh, Coach Arnold, rather.
So 14 seconds to shoot for Tanauan. 5-point lead for the Brahmans. Oh, will shoot a 3. Nothing but the bottom of the net for Bundano. Meanwhile, Felipe on the other side. They're trailing by 8. Cabunillas try to set it inside, intercepted by Elihay. Here comes Hervey Atienza. Gets the bottom of the backboard, but they still have it. Bundano once more. Kaboom!
Already an 11-point lead for the hometown team in the air and passing right now for Biñan.
Meanwhile, Atienza sends it out. Another no good for Torato. And here goes Levin Malaka all the way. No good on that one-hander. Felipe gets it back. Still won't fall. Cabunillas fights for the rebound. But that's going to be a whistle.
Still not in the penalty. Ang Tanauan, 14 fouls para sa kanila. So only an inbound on the baseline para dito sa Biñan.
So entering the game is Kurt Nokiao, a homegrown player of this Biñan Tatak Gel squad. Meanwhile, Levin Malaka, this time it's Felipe. Out of bounds. Also, he failed to actually save the basketball and will turn the ball over to the Brahmans. And here comes Tanauan Brahmans. Dolar has it at the middle. Good passing. Pundano all the way. Kaboom!
It is raining threes right now dito sa Batangas. Still over 2 minutes remaining and already 26 points. High scoring para dito sa Tanauan.
Meanwhile, Godoy trying to answer back. Not that time. On the run is Dolar, but intercepted by Malaka. Meanwhile, that's going to be a whistle as Malaka falls to the ground. Penalty freebies already as foul limit been reached by the Tanauan Brahmans, and one of the three Olivares College Sea Lions checking in for Biñan. That's John Patrick Panelo. First one is no good for Malaka.
Struggling to put the ball in the basket right now itong Biñan. On the other hand, itong Tanauan naman, it's like throwing a rock in the ocean para sa kanila.
So it's now a 13-point lead for the Tanauan Brahmans. Dolar will attack. Intercepted. High pass. Nokiao receiving it. Nokiao puts one up. That's good. Again, Kurt Nokiao, a homegrown player of Biñan. Will cut the lead to 11. Pundano inside. Aguila sends it outside. Torato from deep. He won't hit it. But Tanauan gets it back. And possession staying with them. And a timeout presented by Nature Spring, the #1 bottled water in the Philippines, is called, of course, by the Brahmans as they're up by 11. A minute and 20 seconds remaining in chapter #1. Back to the action. A minute and 20 remaining in chapter #1. So far, no more fouls to give for the Brahmans. Ito namang Biñan, one more foul to give. As Biñan trailing by 11. Torato from deep, he won't hit. Dolar fighting for it. Elihai sends it out. Aguila, this time it's Pundana from deep. He won't hit. John Patrick Panelo getting fouled.
And this is Biñan's chance to get back into this ball game, seeing as Tanauan is now in the penalty. Of course, every free throw obviously will send Biñan to the free throw line to at least stop the clock and put points up on the board.
And I love the way John Patrick Panelo quickly ran to the free throw line after he was fouled. He was aware that there was no more fouls to give for Brahmans. I mean, you gotta love the court awareness. Although he will miss that first freebie. Again, John Patrick Panelo, one of the three Olivares College Sea Lions in that roster, alongside Sigfred Tria and Mark Angot, who is actually absent in today's ball game due to a flu.
Unfortunate loss, but hopefully his teammates will pick up the slack for any production that he will be missing here today.
Meanwhile, they swing it around. Dolar Intercepted by Cabonillas. Wait a minute, that's another whistle. So that's gonna be another pair of free throws. Yes, that's gonna be William Cabonillas shooting some freebies.
Oh, so for Tanauan, they just have to be a bit more disciplined on the defensive end. Try to limit their fouls. They can play good defense without fouling. So if you can do that, try to do that as much as possible and avoid getting into penalty situations like this, which will allow itong Biñan to maybe slowly get back into this ball game if they hit their free throws.
And free throws, definitely one of the most hard part of basketball. I mean, visually it's not hard, pero you know, it's a mental game when it comes to the free throw line. So right now, Cabonillas was able to knock down that second freebie. Meanwhile, Andal has the leather, will rise up for a shot. No good. Cabonillas being swarmed by 3 white shirts. But Malaka retrieves it for him. Malaka getting fouled.
Not a good foul at all from Guerra. Out of control. Talagang kinulang sa preno. Itong si Guerra just running towards Malaka and running him down. And of course, more free throws para sa Biñan.
First one is good for the perpetual Biñan Saint. Levin Malaka, the only one in their roster. Second one on its way. In and out. But he will get it back. Oh, traveling violation called.
And Malaka, trinay niyang i-avoid yung contact na at the same time maybe fish for a foul. So yung konting gulang na yun will cost him a possession.
So 15 seconds remaining. Coach Arnold Cantorno signaling his men. De Ramos. This time, it's Andal. Clock down to 4 seconds. Down to 2. They need to put one up. And that won't go. As it's 26-18, an 8-point gap in favor of the Tanauan Brahmans. And we'll return for the start of our second chapter. Once again, this is Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL D-League. It's 26-18 as we're seeing a crowd here once again at the University of Batangas, home of the Brahmans in Batangas City. Thank you very much for everybody tuning in, whether you're at live Facebook or YouTube. Thank you very much for watching our Junior MPBL games. Again, it's 26-18, 8-point gap. On top, at least for now, the Tanauan Brahmans. Panelo has the leather. He almost turns it over. Good defense on the side of the Brahmans. That was intended for De Guzman, but it will go out of bounds. Possession staying with the pink shirts. Godoy, this time it's Panelo. John Patrick Panelo. The pick from De Guzman. He pulls for 3, and that's good from deep. And he cuts the lead to just 5. Unable to answer back, though, was Tanauan Brahmans. Meanwhile, Godoy, De Guzman this time gets called for a traveling violation. Panelo was asking for the basketball.
Oh, he could have swung that ball. Instead, ball will go back to Tanauan. But 5 points na lang inahabol nitong Biñan.
A minute passing by our second period. Guerra. Good passing from the Brahmans. In the middle. Traveling. Violation called.
Players have to get used of. You have to get used to putting that ball on the floor before taking a step. Of course, according to the rule book, that is a traveling.
Meanwhile, Elihai able to swipe it away. This time it's De Ramos. Pass to Gilamucho, but that is fumbled. Panelo being swarmed. Are able to bring it down. That was intended for Makalintal, but shows it to nobody.
A sloppy play from both teams to start the second quarter, going turnover for turnover.
Meanwhile, Andal. This time, they swing it around. The attack by Guerra, one-hander, that's good. Panelo, far pass to Godoy. He almost lost it. This time it's back with him. Sends it inside Makalintal, basket and one.
Lost the ball as he was going up, but was able to regain control and still finish the play.
Exactly, talk about body control and ball control at the same time. Let's take another look. It was so good, we had to see it twice. Again, Makalintal, basket and one, just showing the muscle in that play. Bonus freebie on its way for Makalintal. So that's the first team foul of Tanauan in this quarter. Unable to convert into a three-point play though. Nonetheless, it's just a 5-point lead. Andal sends it out. Mid-range jumper. No good from Elihai. Another try, Andal. Still won't fall for them. Guerra finally going in for the Tanauan Brahmans.
The energy of the hometown team is at all-time high right now.
Meanwhile, Felipe to Makalintal. Trying to muscle his way inside once again, but this time will get a foul and will shoot two freebies.
Makalintal, nothing really eye-popping when you watch him. Not the tallest or the most athletic player, but very hard worker, especially underneath the basket.
And now let's turn it over to Daphne Cristobal for a report.
Absent on action tonight is Mark Burgos of the Takjal after injuring his ankle. Well, for the coaches, it will be difficult for them to go up a solid Brahman team who constantly trains against them, who solely relies on in-game adjustments. But led by Cabs Cabonillas and Jeremy Godoy, anything could actually happen, especially if the others could also be involved. And isa na nga pwede pa nilang asahan dito is Patrick Panelo, who yesterday just played for an inter-barangay tournament in Muntinlupa City. Also a double overtime situation, and he actually scored 49 points on that game. Makatulong kaya siya dito sa Biñan this time around. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Daphne, for that very detailed report. And again,
Grabe yung 49 points.
exactly, I was about to say that. I mean, obviously, in this Biñan team, you're gonna focus on the likes of Cabonillas, Felipe, pero yung di mo alam yung John Patrick Panelo, for 49 points para sa inter-barangay.
Oo, showing us that even though that's not particularly his role on this team, he is capable of lighting it up.
Speaking of lighting it up, it's Luke Felipe tying the ball game at 30. Meanwhile, Gilamucho losing the leather. Felipe on the attack. Good defense, but it's still with them. Unable to convert though is Biñan. Wait a minute, traveling violation on Gilamucho.
Another turnover there for Gilamucho. Medyo na-excite siya dun.
So it's still a deadlock at 30. So Coach Mac Arzola signaling that sideline inbound play. Meanwhile, Godoy has it. Jeremy putting on the moves. Intercepted this time by Aguila. Here comes Aguila. Try to take flight. Unable to convert, but two freebies coming up for Aguila. So that's the first team foul of Biñan in this chapter number 2. As Wilhelm Cabonillas entering an exchange of De Guzman. And first freebie, no good. For Tanauan's number 10, Alan Dennis Aguila. So far, leading the charge for Tanauan is Pundano with 16. On the other side naman, it's quite distributed. So Godoy only has 6 points. Cabonillas with 5. Same with Felipe.
A very balanced effort para sa kanila.
So we're seeing Nico Lara enter the ball game. One of also the more reliable guards of this Biñan squad. Meanwhile, speaking of Lara, no good at that shot. Intercepted by Cabonillas. Wilhelm choosing to attack and choosing to score.
Another stretch layup for Cabonillas.
Meanwhile, Pundana from deep. He won't hit. Godoy escaping the defense of Guilamucho. Sends it to his teammate. No good for Nico Lara.
Lara still unable to buy a bucket here in the second quarter.
Meanwhile, Guilamucho almost losing it. Picks it up. Gets fouled by Nico Lara. So that's gonna be 2 team fouls each for both teams, but Biñan up by just 1 point. So it's Torato bringing it out. It's Aguila. Andal now has it. On the other side, good passing, finding the open Jeff Guilamucho, but fumbling that shot.
Sayang yun, you know? That was a good pump fake, which allowed the defender to blow past him. Kaya lang, he was unable to finish that layup.
Meanwhile, Peralta. Last minute outside pass, Felipe receiving it. Felipe to Cabonillas. Cabonillas! No good on that try. Meanwhile, Aguila. On the other side, fake, send it to Torato. No good as well. Felipe fought for the rebound. Pero meron tayong pito galing sa ating officials.
Missed layups from both sides. And it's a 1-point lead para sa Biñan right now.
I don't know about you, but it's feeling like a close game. I mean, like down the stretch, close game.
Oh, no. Hopefully, well, it's too early to tell, but right now, yun nga, Biñan clinging to a 1-point lead. So we'll see if the trend will continue.
Godoy using that Cabonillas pick. Jeremy Godoy from deep. He won't hit it. Here comes Hervey Atienza. Not that time. Says Cabonillas and also Luke Felipe.
The athleticism of the wings. Itong Biñan being shown on display right there on the defensive end. Monster block from Cabonillas.
And you gotta love how meticulous the officials are when calling those kinds of things. The carrying violation, the traveling violations.
Yes, the officials not letting anything slide. Really on top of the action here.
Hervey Atienza, not that time. Tivar able to get it back but swarmed by 3. Oh no, 4 pink shirts. Pero merong onting asaran between Lara and Tivar.
In that previous play, itong si Tivar was blocked twice. And this time, of course, ayaw niya nang maulit yun, no? Getting physical down low.
So both teams now with 3 team fouls each. But still, yun nga sabi mo kanina, Biñan holding on to that 1-point lead. Our officials still trying to figure out what the final verdict will be. So let's take another look. Nakita natin Tivar again being swarmed by 4 defenders.
Well, from that angle, no, didn't seem like there was anything extracurricular there from both sides. just normal physical play underneath the basket, and you expect that from two tough teams like Biñan and Tanauan.
So JP Tivar will shoot some freebies. A chance to give his squad the lead or at least tie the ball game. So far, Tivar has 4 points, making that 5 points, 4 boards, and a single dime. Second freebie on its way for the big guy. Under 3 minutes remaining in chapter number 2. And he goes 2 out of 2. That's 6 points already for him.
And palitan lang ng lamang itong Biñan and Tanauan.
Godoy. Sorry, miss on that shot. Meanwhile, Aguila brings it down. Torato continues to attack. Finds an open lane. So it's a 3-point lead for the Tanauan Brahmans. Meanwhile, Pundano able to swipe it away, but possession staying with Biñan Tatak. So we're nearing the 2-minute mark of our chapter number 2. Cabunilla sends it out. 3-pointer. Not that time. Torato on the run, losing it to JP Panelo. Now it's inside. Not that time, says Pundano. And then no defender in sight is Aguila on the other side.
A great block there from Pundano. Credit that basket to him for an amazing defensive stop and a great outlet to an open teammate.
Yes, and after those sequences, it has led to a 5-point lead for the Tanauan Brahmans with under 2 minutes remaining. Nature spring timeout called by Coach Mac Arzola. Back to the action for the last 1 minute and 43 seconds of our chapter number 2. So far, a 5-point gap. Tanauan Brahmans on top of the Biñan Tatak.
It's been a back and forth affair so far here in the first half. Neither team giving an inch. Mostly a 1-2 point lead, palitan lang. And only now, naging 5 points ulit itong kalamangan nitong Tanauan kontra sa Biñan.
Meanwhile, Cabunillas has it up top. Tria, another Olivares College Sea Lion. Look, Felipe up top. Won't hit. Cabunillas monster board. Puts it back and in.
Cabunillas really using his length and his athleticism for getting those rebounds and also yung mga stretch layups niya kanina pa.
Meanwhile, Aguila at the corner. Pundano has it. Cross-court pass. Torato putting on the moves. The attack. That's 2 more points for Torato.
A tough individual move there coming from Torato, evading his defender and no help defense in the paint whatsoever para dito sa Biñan.
Meanwhile, John Patrick Panelo from deep. Not that time. High pass. Aguila back to Atienza. Unable to convert. Atienza gets it back and 2 more points for him. And a very fast-paced brand of basketball both teams are showing.
Oh, both teams nagliliparan on the fast break. A lot of athletic players from both sides showing us exactly what they're capable of.
Kaboom! Look, Felipe from downtown. And now looks like finally the Tanauan Brahmans will take their time. Atienza has 10 seconds to work with. Up against Malacca. Cross-court pass. Pundana from deep. No good. And what presence of mind coming from Hervey Atienza. that'll be it for our first half. It's 43 to 37, a 6-point gap in favor of the hometown heroes, the Tanauan Brahmans. And we'll return for the start of our third quarter and second half. And this has been Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL D-League.
Junior MPBL D-League would like to thank the following sponsors. Doride, Bola ng Pinoy, the official wall of Junior MPBL D-League. Don Benitos, ang pambansang kasama. Nature Spring, #1 bottled water in the Philippines. Pound for pound fitness, Biliga Ready. Jinka Skin, empowering women by redefining beauty. Pound Active for quality sportswear. Winford Resort and
Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL would like to thank Dorite Bola ng Pinoy, the first Pinoy basketball brand, Don Benitos, ang pambansang kasava, Nature Spring, #1 bottled water in the Philippines, Pound for Pound Fitness, Be Ligaretti, Jinky Skin, empowering women by redefining beauty, Pound Active, for quality sportswear.
Red Dynasty, offering comfort Chinese food and overall 5-star experience. Winford Resort and Casino Manila, a luxury integrated resort.
Special thanks to Boss I and University of Batangas for hosting today's game.
I'm here with Assistant Coach Ralph Batalyon of Team Biñan, Tatak. Coach, grabe, fast-paced game ang nangyari para sa ating first half. Sobrang bilis ng pangyayari. Pero 6 points lang po ang kailangan nyong habulin. So pagdating natin, Coach, ng second half, sa tingin mo magandang tulong yung ganun na mabilis yung pangyayari?
Siyempre, kailangan din namin makakuha ng sarili naming face. Kaya lamang sila ngayon kasi, kumbaga, home court nila tapos nagagawa nila yung mga plays nila. So sa second half, adjust kami, makuha lang namin yung pacing namin. So hopefully makuha namin yung panalo.
Coach Ralph, meron po ba kayong gustong pasalamatan or batiin po ngayon?
Maraming salamat sa sumusuporta sa team namin, kay Mayor Arman Dimagila, kay Konglen Alonte Nagyat, kay Vice Jel Alonte, tapos kay Boss Ivan Nocom, kay Boss JM Mercado ng Porky's Lechon, tsaka sa AAA Sportswear.
Thank you so much, Coach Ralph, and good luck po sa Team Biñan. Pero ngayon, balik mo na sa inyo, Cho and Kyle.
Thank you very much, Daphne. Once again, thank you to Coach Ralph Pantaleon, Assistant Coach of the Biñan Tatak Gel. Again, at the half, it's 43 to 37, a 6-point gap as the Tanauan Brahmans at the lead. And right now, you know, yung sabi nga ni Coach Ralph Pantaleon, all they have to do is to adjust because, of course, given it, na home court ng kabila, of course, mas komportable sila. And that's something, that's the challenge that's gonna be faced by the Biñan Tatak Gel.
Of course, no? If you're the visiting team, odds are always going to be against you, and such is the case dito para sa Biñan. But before we get to that, ang ating halftime stats, no, 43% field goal shooting kontra sa 41%. Very similar ang shooting na pinapakita both of these teams. Yung 3-point shooting nila, medyo similar din. 3 makes para dito sa Biñan, 4 naman ang conversions nitong Tanauan. Tanauan slightly out-rebounding itong Biñan, 24 to 20. The assist department naman, lamang itong Biñan with 9 compared to Tanauan 7. The turnovers, evenly matched sila, 11 apiece. So not the best scenario in terms of taking care of that ball. So we'll see kung yun nga, sinabi ni Coach, kung anong adjustments ang makikita natin from both sides here in the second half.
But of course, that's easier said than done. But then again, that's why we have more basketball action coming your way to answer the questions that have been asked. Right now, we're just awaiting. Yes, as that buzzer sounds, the third quarter should come shortly. And so far, leading the charge for this Tanauan Brahman squad, Pundano with 16 points, Atienza with 7, Aguila has 6, and on the other side, Cabunillas has 9, Felipe has 8, and then Godoy has 6. So let's see who will be the starting 5 of that halftime for Coach Mac Arzola and for Coach Arnold Cantorno. And once again, we would like to thank everybody who tuned in today's ball games. Thank you very much, whether you're watching live here in the University of Batangas or at our Facebook page or YouTube channel. Thank you very much for watching the Junior MPBL D-League. Thank you as well to Doroid Bola ng Pinoy, Don Benitos, ang pambansang kasava, Nature Spring, the #1 bottled water in the Philippines, pound for pound fitness B Liga ready, Jinky Skin, pound active for quality sportswear, Winford Resort and Casino Manila, Red Dynasty Seafood and Hot Pot Restaurant, Extreme One-Stop Shop Appliances, CF Moto Philippines, Mr. Emmanuel Lu and Mr. Christian Frondozo, Ziho Philippines, and Tatak, your ultimate transport companion. Third quarter on your way.
Hindi tayo nagkukulang sa sponsors dito sa Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL D-League. Thank you po very much for all the support. And 1-2 defense right now to start this third quarter para sa Biñan. And immediately they get a deflection. So for Tanauan, they have to read the defense better so they can make better passes. And just as I say that, turnover kay Atienza.
That was intended for Gabriel Torato. But then again, you know, it was too strong. But right now, you know, they can't afford to make those kind of mistakes.
And ito na nga yung defensive adjustments na sinabi nila coach heading into the third quarter. So we'll see kung maitutuloy-tuloy na nila yan.
Meanwhile, Godoy will fire a three. He won't hit it. Pero yung hustle nung Nukyaw, ayun nga lang nakuha ng kalaban. And Atienza, good pass. So that is, once again, Pundano. Basket and one, that's 18 points already for him and a chance for a three-point play.
And that is great patience from him. He was already open, but lumingon pa siya. He saw itong si Cabonillas streaking right behind him. And of course, alam niya si Cabonillas, matakaw yan sa mga blocks. Of course, yung mga highlight blocks, gusto ni Cabonillas yan. And he's well aware of that. So, hinayaan lang niya tumalon. And yun, sumabit pa. On the other end, same result din naman.
So, after that and one opportunity, Tanauan now up by 9. Pero ito namang si Wilhelm Cabonillas, FU Baby Tamaro, and Batangas standout. We'll take some freebies. And of course, previously being seen on our screens, Coach Mac Arzola. First one is good for Cubs. Second one on its way. So far has 10 points. A chance to make it 11. Cubs will go 1 out of 2. Meanwhile, Pundano, nowhere to go. Atienza asking for a pick. Torato receives it. Aguila fades away inside the paint. Won't fall. Tivar tried to fight for it, but it will stay. Or yes, it will stay with the Tanauan Brahmans. Meanwhile, Toreto inside. No good from Tivar. Oh, Torato tried to save it. Cabonillas almost losing it. Sends it to Felipe.
Very pesky defense there from Torato.
Cabonillas receives it. Godoy. Felipe, now Alonte. They lose the leather, but possession staying with Biñan. Tatak gel.
Torato once again reading the passing lane, almost getting a steal. And that disruption will cause itong Biñan to try and set up their offense once again.
Godoy attacks. Fades away. That's good for 2 points.
A top shot there, driving amongst the trees and finding himself caught between 2 defenders. No problem para kay Godoy.
So right now, Torato pull-up jumper. That's good.
Both teams once again starting to hit their shot. So it's all going to be a matter of who gets the defensive stops consecutively. Because scoring doesn't seem to be a problem for either team.
Cabonillas picks it up and just scoops it up and in.
And that's his signature move, no? Itong si Cabonillas, really talagang sinusubo na lang niya dun sa rim. If from the looks of it, parang kaya niya nang i-dunk eh.
Meanwhile, Tivar, double dribble violation.
Tavar claiming that that ball was deflected, but of course our officials say otherwise. 6 points ang hinahabol ng Biñan.
Here comes Godoy. They pass around the leather. Cabonillas. Now it's Alonte. He has the basketball. Felipe nowhere to go against Tivor. This time it's Alonte. Cabunillas looking for an open guy. Cabunillas attacks. Scoops it up and in. Plus a foul.
Cabonillas is difficult to stop once he gets a running start kasi pag nakabuelo na siya, alam mong he's going to take off as we see here sa ating pound for pound fitness foul counted play of the game. 1-2 dribbles towards the rim and he's cleared for takeoff itong si Cabonillas. So what you need to do is really stick close to him and huwag mo hayaan just to allow him to get a running start.
And indeed already has 14 points, a chance to make it 15, and he does. 15 big points, and more importantly, cutting the lead of Tanauan to just 3. As there's 4 minutes passing by our third period. Torato out to Atienza. This time Pundano will fire a 3. He won't hit. And what a rebound from Cabs Cabunillas. Godoy. This time it's Nokiao. The crossover. They fire for 3. No good for Felipe. And Pundano finds the open Aguila. Reverse lane, that's good.
That's a tough shot. No dribble whatsoever. As soon as Aguila caught that ball, Pinoy step and reverse on the opposite side of the board.
Meanwhile, Nokiao losing the handle. Aguila. This time it's Torato. Back to Aguila. And wait a minute, offensive foul.
Sayang yun, no? Because Torato already made a good pass dito kay Aguila. Kaya lang nasobrahan dun sa after passing that ball. Talagang binanggaan niya si Godoy, which caused Godoy to go out of bounds. And our referees will not let that slide.
Let's take a look on this possession. Godoy against Atienza. The pick from Makalintal. Godoy scoops it up. He won't hit, but he will get it back though. Godoy. Now it's Alonte. Makalintal against Aguila. Puts one up. Not that time. So here goes Pundano. Sidestep. No look pass to Tivor, but won't end up with a bucket.
Tivor looking for that contact, no? And medyo napalalim yung punta niya underneath the basket as he was trying to, well, he was the one trying to initiate the contact rather, but it worked in Biñan's favor.
So right now it's a 5-point lead being handled by the Tanauan Brahmans as there's 18 seconds on the shot clock on the side of Biñan. Godoy sends it inside. Makalintal puts one up. That won't fall. Torato running down the court. It's with Torato, and that's good on that coast-to-coast sequence.
Not an easy shot there para kay Torato. He had a teammate to his right and trailing right behind him. Decided to take it all the way himself.
Look, Felipe almost losing it. Godoy thought about the 3, sends it out. Alonte from deep. He won't hit. Alonte gets it back. And still no good in his second attempt. Meanwhile, Atienza. Good passing. Back to Atienza.
Atienza immediately asking for a substitution. Might have landed awkwardly after that hit, after hitting that shot.
Godoy from deep. Kaboom!
Godoy has been trying to set up his teammates in the previous possessions, taking matters into his own hands that time, and he gets a steal.
Yes, just in time when you said taking matters into his own hands.
And now it's only a 4-point lead for the hometown team.
More than manageable on the side of Biñan. Pundano, Aguila will attack. Not that time. Elihai gets it back. Forces one up. Atienza, 2 more points for him plus a foul. Pero mukhang may iniinda itong si Atienza.
Oo, missed box outs there from Felipe and Makalintal allowed itong si Atienza to ultimately end up with that basket and one. And you're right, mukhang iniinda niya yung kanyang, well, we have to take another look. Might be his left foot na Pini-favor niya right now. But as we see here sa ating pound-for-pound fitness, foul counted play of the game. Atienza, one of the smaller players para dito sa Tanauan, but not afraid to mix it up down low against the taller and more athletic bigs nitong Biñan. And he does not complete that three-point play. And still not able to get subbed out dahil hindi niya na-shoot yung free throw na yun.
But nonetheless, they hold a 6-point lead. And that's gonna be a miss for Biñan. No look pass from Torato to Pundano, and that is Aguila.
And that is a great extra pass, which ended up with an Aguila layup. Great unselfishness coming from Tanauan at the moment.
Cabonillas attacks. No choice but to foul Wilhelm Cabonillas.
Cabonillas just absolutely fearless in attacking the basket. Makakita lang siya ng konting space or gap in the defense, and he will attack it.
Let's take another look on that sequence. Again, you have to deny him. At least, you know, from the three-point line. Para hindi na niya mamataan pa yung ring.
Yes, and once he gets that ball, kailangan may tao talaga sa harap niya. Kasi pag may nakita siyang espasyo, atakihin niya agad yung basket. And once he gets airborne, mahirap na for anyone on Tanauan side to stop him.
So our officials apparently reviewing that sequence.
I think they're trying to look if there was anything extracurricular that occurred in that previous possession. But looking at the replay, it seemed that there was nothing extra there. Just good physical play coming from both sides.
So Cabonillas, free throw number 1 on its way. So that's 15 points, rather 16 already for Wilhelm Cabonillas. Second one on its way. 2 out of 2 for Cabonillas. Make that 17 points for him in total. And a 6-point lead by Tanauan. So slowly but surely Biñan cutting the lead. But Tanauan, I'm sure, won't back down anytime soon. Toretto. This time it's Guerra. They pass it around. Dolar. Guerra from deep. Not that time. Torato puts it back in.
And the offensive rebounding of Tanauan has allowed them to get multiple looks at the basket. Biñan might be the taller or more athletic team, you could argue that, but no surprise that Tanauan is more energized right now, seeing as they are with their home crowd.
But Godoy able to put the basketball back in, answering back with his own putback. So a minute and 36 remaining in chapter number 3. So far, it's a 6-point lead for Tanauan. Dolar intercepted that time by John Patrick Panelo. So a substitution right here. Andal entering the court for Dolar. Meanwhile, Aguila, they almost turned the ball over. Andal from deep. Kaboom!
The lead is now 9 para dito sa Tanauan team. Biñan better watch out. It's almost a double-digit lead for Tanauan heading into the 4th quarter.
Let's take another look. All guts on that shot coming from Andal. But now 2 freebies gotta be given to Jeremy Godoy, another FEU baby Tamaraw on that roster. First one is good for him.
Itong Biñan Tatak Gel squad coming off of a victory, 2 straight wins in fact after losing their first game here in the 21 and under division. Samantalang ito naman, Tanauan still undefeated, so an acid test para sa kanila.
Meanwhile, Alihai sends it out. Aguila, no good on that shot. Torato, good hustle. And that guy has been all energy for Tanauan. Patrick Panelo. Thought about the three. Malaka sends it out. John Patrick Panelo from deep. He won't hit it. Godoy try to fight for it. Ends up with Panelo. As Panelo falls down to the floor, but seems to be all right. Well, that is big. Torato being called for his 4th foul. And so far he has been playing big. Already scoring 12. And also getting 6 rebounds in the process. So Panelo, first freebie is good. So far it's 5 points for JP Panelo. Second one on its way. 2 out of 2 for John Patrick Panelo.
And the lead is now down to 7. 36.3 seconds remaining in the third quarter. And you're right, you mentioned earlier that this looks like it's going to be a very close ball game, and it is. In the fourth quarter, tingnan natin if it's going to be more of the same.
Meanwhile, Guerra, that was intended for Endal. Meanwhile, Camonillas taking flight and gliding for 2.
Iba na talaga pag athletic, no? Finishing with his offhand.
But that time it was all IQ for Elihai. Or rather, as our announcer pronounced it, it's Elijay. Meanwhile, oh, what a pass from Elijay to Guerra. And that'll be it for our first 3 chapters. It's 69 to 60, a 9-point gap in favor of the hometown heroes, the Tanauan Brahmans. And we'll return for the start of our 4th and final chapter. Once again, this is the one and only Man Pacquiao's Junior MPBL.
Liga ng bayan na to, mga kabataan na subok, Junior MPBL para sa'yo, ang liga ng bawat batang.
$69-60, a 9-point gap. So far, the hometown heroes, the Tanauan Brahmans, on top of the Biñan Tatak gel. But still, 1 whole quarter, that's 10 minutes of basketball action still in store for us in Biñan. More than enough time to make things happen.
And for the most part, they have been keeping in step with the hometown team, no? Itong Tanauan Brahmans. But of course, Tanauan really having all the answers every time that Biñan tries to go on a run.
Meanwhile, John Patrick Panelo good at that mid-range J. Meanwhile, Guerra losing the leather to Malaka. Here comes Levin Malaka, the perpetual saint. Basket and one for him. What aggression coming from Levin Malaka as we take another look on that pound-for-pound fitness foul counted move. Levin Malaka, again, member of the perpetual Biñan Saints, will convert that bonus freebie.
Biñan in a 1-2-2 zone once again.
Andal has it. Aguila provides the pick. De Ramos, mid-range jumper, that's nothing but the bottom of the hoop.
And that's how you beat a zone. Ball and player movement. And the ball finding the net once again para dito sa Tanauan.
Meanwhile, Cabunilias being swarmed. Felipe from deep. Kaboom! The lead now trimmed to 3 only for Tanauan. They swing it around. Aguila inside. Puts one up, puts one in. Cabunilias brings it down. Crossover move. Sends it out. Felipe, another try from deep. Kaboom!
Back-to-back three-pointers for Biñan.
Meanwhile, quick to answer back with a mid-range J is Tanauan.
And credit to Tanauan, every time Biñan has tried to go on a run, meron silang sagot.
Meanwhile, Malaka sends it to Makalintal inside against Andal. The spin and blocked by De Ramos.
And that's great help defense there coming from De Ramos.
Meanwhile, they tried that knockout play. But wait a minute. It's gonna stay with Biñan. So Elihai called for that foul. I pronounce Elihai kasi yun na yung sabi ng announcer natin right now.
Oo, no, paiba-iba din pala yung pag-pronounce ng surname nito ni Eli, but I think yun nga yung tamang pronunciation.
Meanwhile, Cabunilias attacks. No one was there to pick up Wilhelm Cabunilias. Yes, indeed. 2 free throws going to be given to Cabs.
Oh, you really have to deny that ball pag itong si Cabunilias yung humihingi, no? Because yun nga, once he gets that ball, it's really difficult to stop him once he gets a full head of steam. And even though konti nga lang yung space niya para makabuelo doon, it was just enough for him to try and get a shot attempt. And he will be rewarded with 2 free throws once more. Oh, and meron ng graduate the player from Tanauan.
So right now, it's Cabunilias going to take some freebies. So first freebie on its way. That's good for Cabs. And let's turn it over first to Daphne for a report.
Before the start of the fourth quarter, Coach Arnold Contorno just gave emphasis about the offensive rebounds by the Brahmans because it's easily slipping away on their own hands. Once everybody touches the ball, sinasabi niya nga na dapat lahat muna makahawak ng bola. Kapag meron na, the one with the hot hands should confidently take those shots. Back to you, Cha and Kyle.
Thank you very much, Daphne, for that report. And indeed, you know, the trust you should have for your teammates na yun nga, medyo mainit yung kamay. It depends on the situation.
Yes, and yun nga, yung offensive rebounds are a definite no-no if you are a coach. It's all a matter of effort, and you can't give up those offensive rebounds to your opponent, especially in a close game like this.
And a Nature Spring timeout going to be called right here, 75-73. We have a close game right here. Back to the action right here. Again, it's just a 2-point game. Tanauan on top of this one. 11 seconds to shoot for the Brahmans. Intercepting it is John Patrick Panelo, but will lose it immediately afterwards. Andal, no good on that 3-point attempt, but they will get it back. This time, drop pass coming from Aguila. It's Tivar, fading away from the cup. Four-point game. Tanauan on top. Cabonillas at the logo against Andal. Cabonillas behind the back move to Felipe at the corner. That is short. Meanwhile, Aguila behind the back move sends it inside Tivar. Not that time against Cabonillas.
Cabonillas' length bothering Tivar that time. Tivar doing the good job of trying to get in Cabonillas' chest to initiate the contact, but those long arms of Cabonillas just doing enough to bother that shot.
Panelo airballing that layup. Seemed to have gotten surprised that he was all alone. Nonetheless, possession will go to Tanauan, and Godoy going back in to replace JP Panelo. Meanwhile, Andal to Pundano. Andal once again. Aguila losing the leather. Oh, unsportsmanlike foul going to be called definitely against Tanauan.
Things getting chippy here. Both teams not, of course, not wanting to give an inch to one another. Itong Tanauan, as we mentioned earlier, undefeated pa so far here in the 21 and under division, habang itong Biñan naman have come from a 2-game winning streak.
Ayun na nga, yung, again, sabi ng ating venue announcer, unnecessary contact during the fast break. So that's why there's an unsportsmanlike foul called on Alan Dennis Aguila.
Oo, if you're not going for the ball, especially in a fast break situation, tatawagan ka talaga ng unsportsmanlike foul, whether or not there is an intention to hurt.
So it's a 2-point lead, Tanauan on top. So Biñan actually a chance to take the lead or tie the ball game up.
And that was a big goal, no? That could turn the tides in Biñan's favor if they're able to convert in this possession.
Malaka putting on the moves. Levin attacks. He wasn't aware of the time.
Yun lang. Clock awareness. Dun nagkulang ang Biñan in that possession.
So 4 minutes roughly passing by into our fourth and final chapter. Vera Atienza back in the ball game. Pundano waiting for the basketball. Tivar receiving it. He's up against Makalintal. Pundano has it. Will fire a three. He won't hit.
A good line, just short. So Biñan now has a chance once again to get this lead back or at least tie it up.
So under 6 minutes remaining. Levin Malaka. Atienza picking him up. Makalintal provided that pick. It's now with him. Makalintal. Now Cabonillas up top. Shot clock down to 10. Malaka. He attacks. Traveling violation.
Lost his footing there. Unfortunate.
So interestingly, itong Tanauan no more fouls to give. Ito namang Biñan, no fouls given up yet.
Oh, no. Very different foul situation for both of these teams. Kung sino pa yung lamang, sila pa yung in penalty already. While itong Biñan, they have the luxury of not being in penalty yet. Good block. Good timing there para kay Felipe.
Yeah, I mean, we had no words when we saw that block. Nothing you could do. Meanwhile, Tivar up top. Pundano will fire a three. Not that time. Big time rebound. Basket and one for Gabriel Torato.
Torato, the smallest guy in the paint in that instance, but not afraid to mix it up.
Definitely not that tall, pero showing the guts in this pound-for-pound fitness foul. Counted move of the game.
It seems as though there's still a wet spot on the floor, so we'll allow our mop men here at the venue to dry that wet spot for proceeding with Torato's bonus free throw.
Yes, and more importantly, itong si Torato able to extend the lead to 2 possession. And that's good. 3-point play completed by James Gabriel Torato. 5-point lead, 2 possession lead for the Brahmans, pero na turnover nga lang nito ni Jeremy Godoy.
Back-to-back turnovers now para dito sa Biñan. Hopefully this won't hurt them towards the end game.
That is indeed the question we like to know an answer to. Torato against Jeremy Godoy. Aguila behind the back move, fades away. He won't hit. And Torato has been wonderful on cleaning the glass. And that's gonna be awarded with 2 freebies.
What a surprise, no? Torato once again getting that offensive rebound. He seems to have a nose for the ball and has a good idea of where it's going to land. Not expecting his teammates to make those shots, but always ready for a miss, and he's once again rewarded with free throws.
First one is good for James Gabriel Torato. Second one, 2 out of 2 for him, and more importantly, extends the lead of Tanauan to 7. Slowly but surely, pressure pushing down to the shoulders of Biñan, as Panelo will miss that one. Atienza running with the basketball. Atienza, nagkape pa sa ere. Itong si Hervey Atienza.
A good ball fake to freeze the defense, and then yung pabitin niya, which eluded the help defender.
Don't look now, it's a 9-point lead already for Tanauan. What a time to come alive for the Brahmans. Let's take another look. Ito si Atienza, nagbasa pa ng dyaryo at nagkape pa sa ere.
Oh no, Atienza hurt his foot earlier, but not showing any signs of pain in that foot in that instance. But now Tanauan in the penalty. So this is a chance for Biñan to slowly creep back into this ball game if they're able to convert on their free throws.
2 out of 2 for Jeremy. More importantly, it's cut down to 7 points. Atienza being doubled. Pundano has the basketball and finds the open Tivar. And timeout going to be called by Coach Matt Arzola, as they're now trailing by 9. 3 minutes 29 seconds remaining in our final chapter. Back to the action for the last 3 minutes and 29 seconds of this ball game. Again, it's 86 to 77. It's a 9-point gap. Tanauan on top, but they are already at the penalty. Ito namang Biñan, 2 more fouls to give. Godoy, the spin. Godoy sends it out. They fire from deep. In and out for Luke Felipe.
That would have been a big 3-pointer had it gone down. Now they need to stop this transition of Tanauan.
Atienza behind the back pass. That was Torato trying that reverse, but will get fouled, and 2 freebies going to be given to James Gabriel Torato.
Torato having a moment here in the fourth quarter, already getting 2 offensive rebounds. And now once again for the third time, going back to the free throw line to try and extend this lead.
First one is good for James Gabriel Torato. Has 18 points, a chance to make it 19. Same with teammate Pundano. And he does. So 2 of them already has 19 points. Godoy steps on the brakes. And this time it's Nokiao stepping on the gas. But that's going to be a foul, and 2 freebies coming up for the homegrown player of Biñan. First one for Kurt Nokiao won't go. Coach Mac Arzola instructing his players as there's just less than 3 minutes remaining. Trailing by 11 are the boys from Biñan, rather the young men from Biñan. That's a whistle. Possession going to the Tanauan Brahmans. So here comes Hervey Atienza. High pass to Kenneth Pundano. Back to Atienza. This time it's Alan Dennis Aguila. Now the attack by Pundano. Nowhere to go. Torato. This time it's Atienza. Chooses to attack. Drop pass. Good fight to Tivar.
Just in the nick of time. Tivar, once again the recipient of a beautiful drop pass, this time from Atienza.
Yes, 12 points already for the big guy Tivar underneath. Meanwhile, no good on that shot by Felipe. And good save by Godoy. Or rather, that was Godoy taking the shot. Godoy, not that time.
Shots are no longer falling para dito sa Biñan. Luckily for them, they're able to draw those fouls and get to the free throw line.
But so far, Jeremy Godoy playing a good game. Already has 19 points to his name. And has shot well from the free throw line. First one is good for Jeremy. Second one on its way for Godoy. And he goes 2 out of 2. So it's now an 11-point lead. Still a big lead being handled by Tanauan. So it looks like perhaps I was wrong when I said that this will be toe-to-toe until the very end. And that is of course because the production of this Tanauan squad. Meanwhile, Tivar hands it off. Atienza from deep. He won't hit. Toretto, another board. James Gabriel Torato steps back, mid-range jumper. No good for James Gabriel Torato.
Only a minute and 12 left para sa Biñan. Time not on their side, so they need to make every possession count. But that time, asking for a foul.
And that was a miss coming from Tivar. So that's fortunate on the side of Biñan. And Coach Mac Arzola calling another timeout. Again, it's 90-79, 11-point gap as it's the Tanauan Brahmans on top, at least so far. Last 1 minute remaining in our final chapter. Back to the action. Last 1 minute remaining in our ball game. Biñan having possession. They're trailing by 11. That won't go for Felipe. Look, Felipe being swarmed. Intercepted by Kenneth Pundano.
And
Meanwhile,
this could be it.
exactly, the icing on top of the cupcake.
That's right. 13 points and 42 seconds remaining. It's all but over as that missed layup by Godoy all but confirms our speculation that this will be another win for the still undefeated and now going to be 3-0 Tanauan Brahmas.
But you gotta love the sportsmanship between Cabonillas and Tivor. Kanina nung unang part ng ating laro, may unting asar pa si Cabs eh.
Oh, no, they have been playing very physical here today, speaking of both teams. But good sign of sportsmanship, and you love to see that from both of these teams.
Exactly, you see them before pa mag-expire yung shot clock, yung mismong game clock, already exchanging high fives, already handshaking each other. Again, that's what you love to see. Sa mismong game, asaran, pero after that, all respect.
Oh, sports lang naman at the end of the day, and that type of sportsmanship is what you want to see regardless of age group, no? Good to see the 21 and under division players showcasing the type of sportsmanship that we like to see here in Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL D-League. And what a game to close out this beautiful Sunday game day here in Batangas.
Our final score, 92-79. Congratulations to the home owners, the Tanauan Brahmans. And still, big-time props to the side of Biñan, to the side of Coach Mac Orzola, to the side of Cabs, Jeremy Godoy, and the rest of the Biñan Tatak Gel players. And that'll be it for our game day. Again, we'll still have a press conference after this one, but since it won't be going back to us, I would like to give my final extra. Thank you very much to everybody who made this possible. Thank you very much to our viewers. Thank you very much to our watchers, whether it's live here in our venue in Facebook or YouTube. Thank you very much as well to Direk Aldrin of D&D Media. Thank you very much as well to our sponsors, of course, all of them. And thank you very much as well to Commissioner Keith Picasso, to Executive Director J.R. Navarro, and to the rest of the officers of Junior MPBL. Once again, this has been Cho Pangilinan, Kyle Sanchez, and at the sidelines, Miss Daphne Cristobal. And this is Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL D-League.
Liga ng bayan na to, mga kabataan na subok, Junior MPBL para sa'yo, ang liga ng bawat batang Pilipino. Liga ng bayan na to, klaro na to, huwag kang sumuko sa gustong gawin, isang pangarap, isang tagumpay, yeah. Gabay at pag-asa ng bayan, landas pagbabago, pag-asa, ikaw ang mahalaga. Iba't iba, pero isang halaga.